Hey, Michael Griffiths here, founder of Referral Marketing Guru. Hope you're doing fantastic. I was asked a really good question just the other day, and I thought I'd just jump on, draw it, and show you what my thoughts are. What the question was, I feel like I'm just running around in circles, doing a whole bunch of things, looking at the next shiny thing, getting distracted, and in the end, I've got no consistency with my marketing whatsoever. That doesn't sound uncommon. Unfortunately, that's what most people get to do and what most people have rather than having a clear structured plan. So let me just share some of my thoughts around this. So the first thing I'm going to do is we've got our quadrants. So let's start there. You either have a system or you have no system. You are either throwing mud at the wall hoping that it sticks, or you are well planned in what you're doing. So let's have a look at what happens in each of those quadrants. When you are throwing mud at the wall hoping that it sticks and you don't have a system, you pretty much feel like you're running around in circles. Okay? You're trying a bit of this and a bit of that, and you don't really know if something's working or not. In the end, there is no consistency, and that leads to you doing wrong activities, wrong time, making it up as you go. Bottom line, it's just simply hard work. So even when you've got a bit of a system, but you're still throwing mud at the wall, it gets a little bit easier, but you feel like you're doing a lot. You never have the time to be able to get everything done. And most of the time, it's because you're trying to do too much. So in the end, you have your social media content to get out. You've got to put up your blog post. You've got to do the next video. You've got to be able to have calls. You've got to get the next email out. You've got to make sure that this is working, and this is working, this is working. And you've got it all there, except unfortunately, you're still doing a bit of this and a bit of that rather than having a nice, clear plan laid out. So let's come down to we don't have a system, but we've got things planned. And quite often, this is where I reckon a lot of people sit. So you've got your social media plan. You've got your video plan. You've got your plan to go to networking events. You've got your plan to be able to do probably some live feeds. Maybe you get to speak or be on someone's podcast or do a webinar. See, there's lots of stuff that you can be doing. And you've got a plan to get that done. However, there's just no system to bring it all together. So what we find out there is, unlike when you've got no system and you're throwing things against the wall, it's hard work. When you've got a system but you're still throwing things, you feel like you're doing a lot and you don't have much time. Here, when you've got a plan for all these things but no system in place, what I tend to find is that you are leaving money on the table. And that's what tends to happen. And then we get frustrated that we're not getting as much as we should, not creating as much as we should, and stop doing things. So what happens when we go from the red zone over here to the yellow zones over here, eventually up into the green zone? What's the difference? Well, to me, the big difference is that you end up with automation, but you also end up with processes and plans to follow. So when I look at all of our marketing, there's an awful lot we get done, but we get it done in probably quarter or 3/4 of the time that everyone else does because we've got processes and plans to follow. That means then that you can start to outsource some of it and not have to do it all yourself. it starts to mean that it becomes really clear the map to follow. And that's the part that I love, whether it's me, whether it's a team member, whether it's someone outside that will get to do things, there's a clear map for them to be able to follow. There's a clear strategy that's in place. And it doesn't matter who does it, all we know is that we're going to get done. And that's what happens when you've got your planned marketing activities with systems to follow. All of a sudden, it just becomes easy. And that's what that quadrant is all about. So really, when we look at it, having systems and having your marketing planned out, yeah, without a doubt, it's going to get you more business, more leads, more people to talk to. But it also gives you back time. It also gives you back the ability to do other things that you'd prefer to be doing and that you love doing in your business. And that's the difference with each of the quadrants. So are you red quadrant? Are you yellow quadrant? Do you want to be green quadrant? And that's what you need to ask yourself. So again, great question. And hopefully that explains a little bit around why some people feel that they're just not getting the right sort of traction, getting the right sort of momentum, but they still feel like they're doing so much. That explains it a little bit more. Hopefully that's been helpful, guys. Till next time, take care, and I'll see you real soon.